Welcome, beautiful humans and my stardust souls. I'm Panda Bennett, and today I'm a hot mess. I filmed the first episode, or we recorded the first episode of the Grunge Magic podcast. That is me, Whiskey Stevens, and Carrie Blake, which is super, super exciting. And then I think that I was just like all caught up in that big witch energy. And so then I couldn't sleep last night. So then I fell into a TikTok hole and I was up until like 3 o'clock in the morning. About the time I started to get tired, both of my littlest kids, both the babies got up because they are both teething. And so we've just been up, and now it's like 2 in the afternoon and I can't really see straight, but I can't sleep and don't have enough energy to actually be productive and like clean the house or go out and clean in the garage or anything that I should be doing. So I thought I would make a low-key video today talking about working with your ancestors when there is a disconnect or undesirable ancestors. So for example, say you don't know your family history, or you don't know your ancestral line, or maybe there are undesirable ancestors, like there is abuse or there is racism. I've seen a lot of witches asking how they can work with that, with not wanting to work with those ancestors or continue that energy. Okay, so if there's a disconnect, like for me, I am adopted, there's a few things that you can do. So if you can't name names when you call in the ancestors, you can always say, today I call the ancestors known and unknown to join me for healing and manifestations. Also, you can either, with these two things, either disconnect or undesirable, you can either broaden for the ancestors or like narrow it down. So broadening, I mean that we are all connected, all life flows from Egypt. So I could, I'm even connected to Harriet Tubman. She is someone who is empowering. You could call on historical figures. You could even, if you're Irish, trace that back to some of the first Irish teachings and call on those ancestors. Or if there is a historical figure or someone of empowerment that you could call on as well, because again, we are all connected and they are still ancestors. And then if there is an undesirable ancestor, say there's abuse or anything, toxicity, you can do a one-time cutting ritual, basically cutting all of the negative lines and stripping them of their ancestor title. And so then when you call the ancestors in, they're not even invited, because you never have to call in or work with ancestors that you don't want to, and that puts you at unease or caused you hurt and pain in any way, because you are in control of your space. So that one-time cutting ritual, and that ritual could be as big and extravagant as you want it to be, or just saying you are not welcome here and you are not considered an ancestor from this point forward. And it's that simple. And then when you call in the ancestors known and unknown to join me today for manifestations or for spell work or for intention setting or for protection, whatever it is, never again, they're, unless you choose to invite them back, that kind of thing. So that's something else you could do. If you didn't know where to start, like for me, I am adopted. And so I'm cut from my culture and from my line. So I can call ancestors known and unknown. I can call with that, having already set an intention that it's just the positive ancestors. Or you could do like is it 23andMe, 21andMe, or just the DNA testing that will tell you the different things that you're connected to. And then you could reach back in those lines and call on those positive, empowering ancestors as well. But yeah, just because either you have a disconnect or you have toxic family members, don't ever feel like you can't do ancestor work or that you can't call on the ancestors, because as children of this world, of this earth, we all are connected and are connected to the ancestors of the earth. So yeah, those are just some different things. Hopefully that helps. Also, I just watched the most amazing video from Feeney that I will link down below, that he talked about being his own ancestor. So this is another thing that you could do. And he spoke in his video, which he's, definitely go watch it, but about the power of memory. And so like keepsakes. So he keeps movie tickets and has these things from younger years, because at all times, we are the ancestor of ourselves. We are the most evolved current version of, of 5-year-old me, of 6-year-old me, of last year me, of yesterday me, those type of things. And you can call on that energy and then use those keepsakes that you have that hold memory and hold power, that bring joy or remembrance of that time, to work with that energy as well. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video because where I am adopted and I do have undesirable ancestors, I do have a disconnect from my line and my culture. I did feel like when I first started that I couldn't do this type of work, but the more classes that I've taken and studying that I've done and understanding, yeah, so hopefully this helps someone else that feels, or gives you guys some ideas of different things that you can do. And also another thing that I would say, if you do have undesirable ancestors, generational healing and ancestor restoration work is really huge. And you're not doing it for anyone else but yourself, but it can bring you so much healing and help you break those cycles, those undesirable cycles, whether it's racism or it's abuse or it's addiction or alcoholism or whatever it is that you have. It'll be different for everyone. But that ancestral restoration, generational healing helps break those cycles, and then that healing reverberates it and it transcends, so that will go to future generations in your line. It heals you, it heals the space around you, and then it reverberates to your ancestors as well. I read this excerpt that just talked about how ancestral restoration and healing, even though, because they died, and to see that disconnect and to die with that hate, they have to live with that and watch that from the grave and watch their next generations struggle with the same things, is this internal weight that is really heavy for them that they have to bear, and that helps heal for them now that they have this wider view and have passed on in our ancestors and have seen the, basically gifting pain to the next generations, and that's the weight that they have to bear. And so that reverberates and helps show them as well. Again, it's not something that you have to do, but these are just options. These are things that I'm personally working on, having, like I said, being adopted into a white family, not knowing, my lines are where I come from. Then also in the, in the family that I do know, having toxic connections, having undesirable things, and so healing from that abuse and strengthening myself. And so when I call the ancestors known and unknown, I've already cut out those things that I don't want to bring to me. So hopefully that helped. Hopefully it made sense. Again, I've had no sleep. But yeah, so I just want to be here to support you guys and help you guys any way that you can, or any way that I can. Again, oh my gosh, go to bed. But yeah, so if you have any other questions, if there's anything that I didn't explain very well, or if you have other things that you do or other ideas, definitely let me know. The Grunge Magic podcast with Whiskey Stevens, myself, and Carrie Blake will be on Spotify and on YouTube. Also, we are getting ready to launch the Witch Hunt series, which I'm really excited about. Honestly, I feel like the witches and spiritual workers and tarot readers and people that are working from a place of love for, an inclusive, better world, once we connect, that we'll just have this amazing power to change things in the future, even if I don't see it in my time. And it's really important to me, and that's why I started this series, to connect people, witches of all walks of life, all around the world, of all different ages, different pasts. Yeah, to just kind of harness that energy of change and love. And so when I put this out, I was just like, I was in my head about it, and I was like, I'm going to put this out and no one's going to sign up. 60 people have signed up, and that's so cool. And I've already started the trials, and so we will be launching here really soon. I just want to get a few done up so that once I start launching, you guys don't have to wait for content, and it comes out scheduled, same time, same day, everything like that. And it's just really exciting. And then on the episodes that I don't have anyone, or I don't have a guest, I will be answering questions, doing tips and that kind of thing, speaking on different things. So if there's any people that you want to see, any path that you're interested in, any content or questions, definitely just let me know. If you have anyone that you are connected with that you think would be amazing to have a trial of the witch hunt trial and learn about them, or have them speak on the things and the work that they do, definitely let me know or share it with them so that we can get connected. But yeah, I think that's all I have. So I hope that you all are well, making time for self-care, getting enough sleep, and I will see you all back for another video. Bye.